Hello everyone, welcome back to MCM Outdoors on this hot and humid, very oppressive the heat is today. So I've come out to make another video, and as always I brought you guys along for the ride. Now just get away from this edge. I've got a new tent on this one. It's very hot today, so I thought it would be absolutely ideal conditions to test it out. It's made by a company called White Hills Gear. I'll leave links below. It's a single skin Backwoods Bungalow type shelter which you erect with 2 trekking poles. It's got a lovely mesh panel along the front, which I'm hoping is going to give me some nice respite from this heat, because it's about 30 degrees. It's absolutely sweltering, but it's all good fun. I've got a few beers. I'm going back to a familiar location on this one because we've got things to do early tomorrow, but it's good to be out all the same amongst the noisy sheep and the ferns and the great outdoors. In terms of the weather, well, other than the heat, there's the possibility for some isolated, very severe thunderstorms. We'll have to keep an eye on that. There's a little bit of cumulonimbus build up and a couple of these clouds are developing, so we'll just keep an eye on that. Got nice, look what we found, chicken tikka, boiling the bag rice, lots of water and a few cold beers. So I'm going to press on, get to the camp location and bring you back. So it's time for the old cooling down trick. Hat off, sweaty hat. Oh, feels better. Feels better. What a day. That's the shelter. Comes in its own stuff sack. It's got a bit of a loop on one end, which is handy for getting it out your bag like I've just done. And the next end just has a bit of a pull toggle drawstring closure. That is that. Very briefly, these are the beers on this one. Nothing overboard. Local brewery, like I've said in previous vids, Neptune. A nice pale ale, a nice oatmeal stout, a classic which I've had many years ago, Common Grounds coffee porter, and a Sling It Out stout, which is made with upcycled Kellogg's Cocoa Pops. So what we're going to do now is move on to the shelter, which we pitch with 2 trekking poles, which are just there. Let's get it set up. It's got this tie out point on the back, which gives you a lot more room, increases the space inside. And it's a basic pyramid shape, isn't it? It's like a classic A-frame tent, although it's supported by these poles. There's various different ways you can set it up. You can have a ridge line straight down the middle here, but I've just elected for the trekking poles. So we've got that lovely tie-out point which increases the space at the back, and then as we move down to the back of the tent, we've got this skirt which extends out and it covers, you'll see when we get inside later, there's a whole mesh fence, runs the whole width of the tent, which allows some nice airflow into there. Got a bit of a skirt on the front just affords a bit of protection. And then this door, well, obviously we've got it rolled up at the moment. Now, how I spoke about earlier, you can add another trekking pole, or if the trees allow it, another ridgeline here. You could extend that out for a lovely generous porch. Like I say, I could have done it there, but then I'd have been facing that direction. And what I want to do is look out onto that. I've got the beers chilling there. So you've got these lovely toggles just along the ridge with reflective strips running through the centre. Nice double zipper. And you can see the mesh fence on the rear, which I spoke about. So it's good. It's going to be nice and airy. We get the sleep mat in. Now, I don't have a ground sheet, but I've just done a bit of a site check. Look for any sharp stones, twigs. You can use a cheap bit of polythene. If anyone watches the outdoor gear review, you'll see Luke uses these cheap polythene sheets. So fashion your own, or conversely, don't bother. Now, the sides, there's a bit of a bathtub here, so that's going to protect me from any rain. The seams are all taped as well. I think Jimmy Lundy he's got a camo version of this, using prolonged rain, about 6 hours I think, on one of his videos, recent one, and it didn't leak. So that fills me with confidence. There's usually only one way to find out though, but it's a good bit of kit. I'm pleased with that. Well, I've just been sat watching down there above the brook. There's a dragonfly that's just been joined by another one. I'm not sure whether you'll be able to pick it up on the footage. And I think it's hunting all the midges and the small flies. It's just darting up and around. There it is, picking them off. How nice is it? Just sat. Nothing but the sounds of the brook. I'm watching that perform its dance in the sunlight. Brr. Brr. Yeah, he's bottled it. He's bottled it. In terms of tea, and that's what we call it. We don't call it dinner, call it tea from where I'm from. Breakfast, dinner and tea. So, yeah, let's show you. So it's this. Need to look what we found. Chicken tikka. It's got nice fresh ingredients. Got a tomato and coconut in there. And a simple boiled in the bag rice. In terms of stove, we'll use I'll just get my leg out of the way, sit cross-legged. Use the EOE Eiffel outdoor equipment Cabaltum stove. It's a nice remote canister stove. Remote as in the burner is remote from your gas by way of this flexible hose, and it sits nice and close to the ground. I'm going to be cooking it on this rock just because the ground is quite dry. It's like a tinder box, so just for safety's sake I'll be doing it on this. Let's get it lit and let's have our lovely tea. There we go. So let's open the Abyss, the oatmeal stout. cheers everyone to the great outdoors, as always. Oh, lovely. It's going to go well with this. I just want to thank everyone as well. A couple of videos back I mentioned that I'm going through a bit of a horrific life event at the moment. I won't be touching upon that in this video. Suffice to say that I very much appreciate everyone who took the time to write nice supportive comments, and it just highlights how good this YouTube community is. You know, surrounded by like-minded people, decent people who took time out to, you know, send a supportive reply in my direction. So that's very much appreciated. Thank you very much for that. I also want to thank everyone that throws a few quid in the MCM pot via the Buy Me a Coffee, which I always leave a link to in each video. Now, I don't specifically request that, and people just do it off their own back. It's very much appreciated, whether it's 10p or, you know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's all very much appreciated, and it goes towards funding of the channel. It goes towards buying a few craft beers for the trips. It goes towards fuel, the costs of getting to and from various locations, which otherwise I'd be struggling with at the moment. So it's very, very much appreciated. I think, like I mentioned, people don't understand at the moment how much so. So yeah, thank you very much for everyone that donates. I do write back to every single person when I get round to it on that Buy Me a Coffee on the website there. So thanks everyone for that. Just want to pay special mention as well. I won't mention the surnames, don't want to embarrass anyone, but Richard, Neil and Andrew, absolutely blown away by the support you have provided to the channel. It's absolutely outstanding. You know what you've done. I don't need to say it, how appreciative I am. It enabled me to buy the Fjallraven Abisko Light 1 tent, which you've only seen on one video, because it had to go back because it had a defective inner. Unfortunately, I got notice yesterday that they cannot source a replacement. There's not going to be any stock whatsoever in the UK until around mid-September, because everyone's going out camping, aren't they, at the moment, due to the current situation abroad. So yeah, they've refunded me the cash and I've gone for something different. So I won't say what it is. I will leave it as a surprise for possibly the next video. I think it might be coming tomorrow, but I've only been able to get that through sheer generosity of people that watch the channel. So Richard, Andrew and Neil, I just wanted to specifically mention you three. Just, you know why. Thank you very much. It's really, really appreciated. So yes, I'm just listening to the storm rumble on as I ramble on. It's 8:10. Got a couple more beers, probably won't get through all them. Got 3 more, including the bonus. Just going to keep an eye on the weather situation. I might have another check of the old lightning radar. I'm just enjoying myself. I've got a book, but I'm not reading. I'm quite content to just listen to the storm in the distance and just look out at these lovely views in the outdoors. Righty ho, let's test out the new fill light. You've seen it on some other vids. I've had it on some of the hammock camping videos, the last couple of ones. This is what I've been using and it's really good. There's all sorts of hideous creatures flying towards that now. But yeah, we got some cheese, a little bit of applewood, lovely smoked cheddar. It's really nice. I'm just going to have this. Got a little tiny bit of that stout left and a couple of cans left, but I'm not having any more. I'm going to feel fresh in the morning for getting up and then back to the car. So it's been a good camp. Nice. Well, the walk-in wasn't, to be honest, but it's all part of the fun. Tough but worth it when we got here. And nice and atmospheric, nice relaxing day. I brought my book. I've not done any reading. I've not needed to, really. When I say need to, I've not wanted to. I've just been taking it all in. We've had some nice weather, some nice storms in the distance, hearing the thunder, being up looking at that. And yeah, it's been another brilliant trip in the great outdoors. New tent, I'm pleased with it. Let's see what it's like in terms of, you know, the condensation. I'm pretty sure there won't be any, given we got a whole side unzipped, but in the event that we do need to zip that up in case of inclement weather during the night, we'll see if the situation with regard to condensation changes in any way. I don't think it will. I think it'll be absolutely fine. But it's a nice simple shelter to put up, and like I say, I will leave a link to that tent. No commission, there's no affiliate link. If you think it's decent and, you know, you're happy with how it's been, once you've watched the video and you're in the market for that kind of tent, check it out. So yeah, I'm going to finish this, finish the rest of this nice stout, and then get in the old pit, do my teeth and get into bed. So unless anything drastic happens, I'll see you just before we go to bed, and then I'll catch you in the morning. Right, good morning everyone. That was actually quite a good night's sleep. I should probably expect with this door open, there's no condensation whatsoever. It's bone dry. I know people automatically assume single skin tent, condensation no matter what. But the reality is, as with other tents, it's more of an issue when the outside temperature is colder and the inside of your tent heats up because you know, your body warmth and your breath and stuff like that. And that's when it condenses on the inside of the tent. So no such issues today, and I mean the ventilation in here is absolutely spot on. So yeah, a nice sleep. I just put the sleeping bag over me, got a bit cold during the early hours, and yeah, there's lots of room. I can sit up in here, nice headroom. I'm impressed. I've got this lovely massive window on the world here, so I'm going to get a brew on. I've got a quick and easy breakfast because I've got to get back for a couple of things. So it's a cup of coffee and a breakfast bar, and we get packed away and we'll say goodbye. Well, that is it. No trace left. Some flattened earth. Had a quick check. Make sure I've got all my pegs, everything that I've brought with me. Made sure it's come out. Check the trees. There's nothing whatsoever here. Again, leave no trace. Camping. That's what it's all about. Trash camping isn't wild camping. No matter what the media says, completely different. We've got to make sure that the right message keeps on getting there so that the public know that this is not what they see on the news. Thank you very much for watching this video. I've had a brilliant time in our great outdoors, and yeah, feel really refreshed and already looking forward to the next one, which is not going to be too long. If you've enjoyed it, please take the time, give it a quick thumbs up. If you're on Facebook, so is MCM Outdoors, there's a group on there. If you want to come and join that, come and do that by all means. And it's just a nice place where we share tips and photographs of doing the things that we love. And there's lots of useful advice on there as well. Any Instagram users, MCM Outdoors is also on there too. I'm regularly putting bits and bobs on the feed, so if you want to come and follow me on there, by all means come and do that as well. So thank you. Go and enjoy the great outdoors yourself. Have a great time out there. Look after it. And I'm going to make my way back to the car. I'll see you on the next video, and take care.